The thrift has emerged, and isn't it beautiful? The colours and expanse always takes my breath away. We have had some lovely sunny days, but also some awful weather. It really has not felt like June. But bad weather means one thing: more barn clearing. So into the tool barn we go. And once again, as you can see, this barn has accumulated stuff. We started off by getting rid of the rubbish and sweeping it out.
Wow. That's what, underneath all of this, is, you think this might be the original cobbles? Wow. So in the depths of the tool barn, we've just found this device from 2004. We've got like a lawn aerator, we've got different attachments, and here is Mike styling this retro piece of equipment.
We hung some hooks to store things, which is such a quick and easy solution to free up some space. And just look at the lovely old cobbled walkway. Another very satisfying transformation. Just to remind you of the before and the after. And the before and the after. One of our volunteers, Sophie, has been working very hard creating these beautifully hand-painted signs for our lovely newly marked tracks, and here they are in situ, so thank you to Sophie. A big project for myself and Mike over the last couple of weeks has been painting the gable ends. Now the paint on the stone was looking very weathered, especially after the previous estate team freshly painted the front of the observatory last year. And here is Mike completing the first gable.
So we're on to gable number 2 today.
Then the second.
We are on to the final gable today, which is the biggest one of the 3, and there's also a chimney to do at the top, which might be a bit of a challenge. And Mike is also going to do the outside of this window whilst we're here.
We were completing this job in between rain showers and extreme sun, the sun glare making it almost impossible to paint, hence the very cool shades. And gradually we worked our way up, and up, and up.
I chickened out climbing up the ladder, so Mike had to go. I nearly got to the top. Not quite. Work in progress. I never used to be good with ladders, and I am getting more and more confident on them, which is good, but I've still got, that is quite high. So yeah, maybe next time. I'll let Mike do this top. We have our lovely new triple ladder out for the first time. Disclaimer, Mum and Dad, if you could just close your eyes, I'm going up. I think this is my limit, you'll have to do the next. That's it! He's only gone and done it! Woo!
I think Mike was very relieved to finish this job. His arm was very sore. This was a big job and one we are extremely happy with. What a difference we've made. Here is the before and the after. We would also like to thank 2 more volunteers, Pat and Dave, for their dry stone walling expertise. So just to remind you what this section of the wall used to look like, and another complete transformation and no easy feat. This section was prioritised because of this beautiful old stone style, a feature worth saving.
Every year around this time we carry out our Manx Shearwater Burrow Survey. Now we do this to determine which burrows are occupied by Manx Shearwaters, and from that we can then estimate the size of the population that we have. But why are we checking the burrows? Well, Manx Shearwaters, they're seabirds, they're ground nesting, and they either use rabbit holes or they excavate their own burrows, so they actually nest underground in these burrows. At South Harbour, where I'm going to now, we mark out this big transect because it is the area with the largest colony of our Manx Shearwaters. And we basically work up and down the transects, and it gets quite dirty because we then put our arm down every burrow that we come across. Once we've found these burrows that are long enough, we then use a tape recorder and we play the Manx Shearwater call down the burrows. And more often than not, if the burrows are occupied, the Manx Shearwaters in the burrow will respond, so they'll call back to the tape that we're playing. And we can then classify that burrow as occupied. And we do this up and down every burrow we have to check, and then we can gauge a better understanding of how many pairs and how many breeding birds we have at South Harbour.
And here are more of our helpers in all sorts of funny positions with their arms down burrows. So big thanks to the interns Rosie, Joel, Tristan and Alex.
So out of 382 burrows that we surveyed today, 382, we had 57 callbacks. That works out at around a 15% callback rate. But it won't be until the end of this month, once we have all the data from Sophie, who's been our volunteer doing the daily Manx Shearwater burrow surveys. We'll then have an overview and a figure of the total callback rate. And often it's higher than the 15%, so it could even be up to around the 50% mark. So I will let you know once we have the final results.
Finally, Mike and I have enjoyed a few days off the Calf, a little break on the Isle of Man. We have walked some stunning sections of the coast path with views of the Calf, but the main event being a celebration of His Majesty the King's 76th birthday held at Government House, so we swapped out the work clothes for our glad rags. We were kindly invited by the Lieutenant Governor and Lady Lorimer. It was a real treat. We have now safely returned to the Calf and look forward to what the next couple of weeks might hold. We'll see you next time.